God damn LeBron James. God damn LeBron James. I wasn't going to do a video on this, but I saw Too Raw for Sports video when he was conversating about this topic. I didn't even know this took place until I watched it on Too Raw for Sports TV. Go subscribe to his YouTube channel. He he talked about this, and when I saw his video, and then when I went to social media to see the actual clip, this it reminds me back to, first and foremost, we as men, a lot of men experience this. Everyone has a story about the time they realized they lost their hair. Okay, you want to hear it? Here it goes. Here's my story when I came to the realization that I was losing my hair. All right, I used to have long hair. All right, I would have it braided up. Okay, I had those long braids. It reached to the bottom of my neck. One day, and I would regularly take care of my hair. I would get them untwisted, and I would go to the barber shop and get it trimmed up some. Well, when I went to when it was unbraided, I went to the mirror to comb it and brush it back. I noticed that there was a top part of my head. I was losing a lot of hair as I was combing it. A huge chunk of hair just just disappeared from the top of my head and was placed on my comb. I'm like, oh snap, I'm balding. All right. So when I realized that, and it wasn't really noticeable, but after 2 months after that, I started noticing that the top of my head, the hairs on the top of my hair were not as long as the sides and the back of my hair. And I looked at the mirror and I can clearly see the bottom of my scalp. Now, my hair loss was nowhere near LeBron James. I came to a realization, okay, this is not going to get worse. This is not going to get better. It's only going to get worse. I don't want to be that guy. And we all have seen that guy at the supermarket, at the school, at the church that just can't let it go. They're going to salvage whatever hair follicles that they have, and they're not just going to just cut it all off. Okay? I went to the barbershop, got my hair cut. Okay? I could deal with it as a fade, but as time went on, I just rocked the baldy because it's easier to take care of the bald head. You don't have to, do any maintenance on it or anything of that nature. Okay? When I saw this clip, it reminded me of the realization that I was losing my hair. But luckily for me, no one had to tell me hey man, you might as well just rock a baldy, man, because you're losing the top part of your hair. I just came to the realization it's not coming back. It's not going to grow back anytime soon. I'm not a billionaire. I'm not a millionaire. I'm not going to be able to buy hair. I'm definitely not going to use any male weave. Okay, I'm not going through all that stuff. Let me rock the baldy. I'll be all right. Okay, and when you go bald headed, like one day you got some hair. 1 year you got a lot of hair. The year after that, you got some hair, and then you instantly go, you get the baldy. Your friends and your family are shocked the first couple of times when they see you, and they go like, "Oh man, what happened? Oh, you cut all your hair? Okay, cool." But everyone, I had friends. We would, joke on one another. One of my friends said that I was a bald-headed Tupac that hasn't been fed yet. Malnutritious Tupac Shakur. Cue bald head. You hear the jokes, the yada yada yadas. But as time goes on, everyone gets used to it. All right, everyone gets used to it. You're gonna catch them jokes, but then everyone's gonna get used to it, and the order of how things are. All right. I'm going to be honest with you. LeBron James' friends. Now, I'm not going to put it all on Savannah. I'm not going to put it on his kids. I'm not even going to put it on his family. You know, your family would put up with it because they know the struggle is real. Because they know you. I feel like your family should know you more personally, your vulnerabilities and things of that nature, your mental status and things of that nature. They would tolerate it more and be more patient with you because they love you. And I'm pretty sure you have friends that love you as well. They would put up with it, and they'll just say, oh, he'll, eventually he's going to cut it all off. We're just going to have to wait. It's a process. It's a journey. It's not a sprint. He's going to eventually cut it all off. So I'm not going to put it on Savannah and LeBron James' family, but I am going to put it on your friends. And I'm going to be honest with you, LeBron, your friends ain't shit, dog. Your friends are not shit, okay? Now, I can understand the teammates not, walking, but you mean to tell me there's not one single teammate that walked up to LeBron James, even, he was holding on to dear life with his hair, with his first stint with Cleveland, and he started being noticeably bald when he went to Miami. And I remember one time he cut it all off when he was with Miami. And maybe he had some solid friends. Maybe Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh walked up to him. Or, he had some real G's up there and they wasn't afraid of him. And they went like, yo, dude, cut all that stuff off, man. You're looking ridiculous out here. You look like a total clown out here. You up here brushing 20 hair follicles on the top of your head, okay? You're brushing your memories away. This is the pure example of erasing your memory from your hard top, okay? Dude, just cut your hair. It's not that deep, all right? And when I saw this video, and he is brushing hard. He is brushing away he's brushing everything off his head. Dandruff, his dreams, his hopes, his promises, the skin, okay? If a fly happens to land on his head, that fly's gonna die. Dude, cut your hair. You have no use of a brush or a comb. And it has gotten worse for LeBron James. I don't know if people notice this or not, but the top part of his head, is pretty much, bald. There is no hair patches and anything like that. Now, someone told me that LeBron James is going through this hair transplant. And, and this hair transplant, and, I had to educate myself on this. When you do a hair transplant, they just take hair from parts of your body and they place it on your head and give it time, it'll grow. Now, some would die off, but eventually the concept is eventually there's going to be some that's going to grow, and it's going to take time for your head to start growing a full hair of head. And that's what's going on with LeBron James. He has a hair transplant. Okay. Here's my thing. Now, LeBron James is worth billions. He is worth billions. And I've been saying this for quite some time now. When you're an athlete and you're a very successful athlete and you have the money and the resources, I've seen athletes in their career try to experiment with their head with hair transplants and things of that nature, and it just doesn't turn out. And I think the reason why they fail more when they were athletes and they were still in their profession as players, I think it's because of them constantly sweating. And I think the sweat on the top of their heads clog a lot of their hair follicles. And, I don't know if you have to be stationary, you can't sweat a lot, you can't work out, and that's why when you look at these owners and they get hair transplants, they got a full head of hair. Okay? But when you look at these players, like LeBron's worth billions, you mean tell me, there's not a doctor in America he cannot afford to get his hair right? Okay? To get his head right? But LeBron, just let it go, rock the ball. Also remember Charles Barkley talking about this, and I'm trying to find it on YouTube. I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube. And he talked about how, and this was years ago, when LeBron James had those big hair bands, those sweat bands, and I don't know where he get these big ones at. I mean, it's just too big for his head. And he would put the hairband over his bald spot. And we all knew that he didn't want nobody to see his bald head. It's understandable, And Charles Barkley said, Charles Barkley said that, right now it's normal. But as the years go on, that headband's going to move all the way to the back of his head. It was funny. All right. So, look, I know LeBron James is not subscribed to my channel. I know there's friends that are close to LeBron James that are not subscribed to his channel. I know there's some diehard LeBron James fans that are not subscribed to my channel. Okay? But if I had a word of advice for LeBron James, just cut it off, dude. I mean, you're not saving anything, all right? And maybe when you're done playing basketball, you can, maybe it'll grow back better. I don't know, okay? But this just goes to show how delusional he is. And it also explains some of the recent stuff he's been saying about himself, that, I would have won titles even if I didn't join the Miami Heat, which was laughable and ridiculous. You wasn't sniffing a title. I've been saying this for quite some time now. The best thing LeBron James did was take his talents to South Beach, because he went to an organization that won titles. He was surrounded by people who won titles, and he was surrounded by people how to lead teams to win titles. All right? Do anyone remember when LeBron James first stint with Cleveland, and he was trying to, he made it to the NBA Finals. Okay? Congratulations. He made it to the NBA Finals in a weak East, okay, with a bunch of scrubs on his roster, okay? But they got beat by the San Antonio Spurs, okay? Did anyone think that LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers was going to beat the San Antonio Spurs? If they would have played 20 times, the Cleveland Cavaliers would have won, 2 games? Okay, really? But he was nowhere near shape, form, close of winning a title with his first stint in Cleveland. And Carlos Boozer knew that. He left Cleveland. He was the first. It was him and Carlos Boozer. Carlos Boozer left LeBron James, went to Utah. Okay? That was, and then you started hearing the rumors and rumbling. Well, nobody wants to go to Cleveland. It's cold in Cleveland. Stephen A. Smith would say that's why LeBron James can't get no help. That's why he can't get Carmelo Anthony. That's why he couldn't get Chris Bosh. That's why he couldn't get Dwayne Wade to Cleveland, because nobody wants to play in Cleveland. Cleveland is cold. Stephen A., the Chicago Bulls is just as cold there, and they won 6 titles. Okay? The New York Knicks is just as cold there, and they have been a historic franchise, and they always get some major superstar. Okay, so miss me on, nobody wants to go to Cleveland because Cleveland is cold. If LeBron James was anywhere remotely capable of carrying a team, like if he consistently carried a team to the NBA Finals, superstars would beg to go to Cleveland. Carlos Boozer would have never left Cleveland. So I know like a lot of people want to dump it on the coaching staff that Cleveland had. I know everyone wants to dump it on Dan Gilbert, the owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers. I know everybody wants to dump it on the fact that I forgot the player name who's homeless, allegedly had an affair with LeBron James' mama. I know y'all want to blame it on all this stuff, but blame it on LeBron James, okay? And that's how delusional LeBron James has gotten over the course of time. LeBron James, in his delusion and believing in his delusion, he thinks if I can play 20 plus years in the NBA, I'm going to eclipse Michael Jeffrey Jordan. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. We've never been fans of longevity. Not in the NBA. Not in football. Those are the two most popular sports in the league. And neither one of them, nobody champions the fact that a player has played X amount of years in the NFL or the NBA. No one has stood up and applaud that player A has been in the NFL for so long. Player B has been in the NBA for so long. No one claps for that. That's something that, when you look at baseball, it's non-athletic. It's not as athletic as football and basketball. So what else they're going to gravitate to? They don't promote athleticism in the national in the baseball leagues. National Baseball League, excuse me. So they're going to gravitate to longevity. They're going to, there are some athletic moments like the home runs, the strikeouts, but, no one, utilized those feats as, you have to be extremely athletic to throw a strike. You have to be extremely athletic to hit a home run. If you look at a baseball game, a professional baseball game, what they do most of the time in the infield and the outfield, the infield gets the most action. The outfield occasionally gets the action. They just mainly just stand there. So, but I'm jumping all over the place. Look, this is how delusional LeBron James has become. This is how delusional LeBron James stands are. This is how delusional you guys are. You got this man believing in his delusion. He actually think he is growing hair. Why are you using a brush? Use a dish rag. Anyway, I'm not going to keep clowning on LeBron. Hey, look, we all as men had to deal with this. Some of us sooner rather than later, but we all made the choice and pledged the allegiance to the Clippers, to the hair clippers. I'm not trying to say the Clippers, the Los Angeles Clippers, to the hair clippers, and we just made an allegiance to it. We made the allegiance to the shave, and we just rocked the baldy. It's not that deep, LeBron. We all had to go through it. There are some women out there that is going through this. Jada Pinkett, it's a crying shame. And this just goes how sensitive men have become about their image. It's a crying shame when Jada Pinkett Smith can rock a baldy and love being bald. And you got this big man, LeBron James, is holding to every single hair follicle in his hair, which is only 20 hair follicles, just to prove that he has hair on his head. It's a crying shame. But I want to give a shout out to Too Raw for Sports. I'm subscribed to him. When I saw that video, I was chuckling and laughing, and it reminded me of myself. We have all, as men, came to this point in our lives, and we said to ourselves, okay, do you want to look like a clown for the rest of your life? Or just go ahead and cut your hair. You're going to catch a couple of jokes. You're going to catch a couple of strays for the next, 2 to maybe 4 days. And then people get used to it. And then people move on. I mean, this man is holding on to dear life to those hair follicles. He's holding on to having hair than the actual hair follicles on his head. Come on, LeBron. Come on. Don't go out like this, But, I'm telling you, his friends ain't shit. None of his friends ain't shit. All right. And I understand the teammates. The teammates are going to say, I'm not going to go tell him he needs to go rock a baldy. And then he gets mad at me. And then I'm on the next bus to Albuquerque. I'm not going. No, I'm not an Anthony Davis. I'm not one of them. Okay. I'm already on thin ice when he's getting ready to trade all of us anyway. Okay. Why do I want to get out of here even quicker? But hey, it is what it is, So yeah, it's time to just let it all go. Like Teddy P. I think I better let it go. Let it go. Woo! Cut that bald head, man. Just get the baldy. Get the baldy. All right.